Before we dive in, I've got something exciting to share. If you're craving consistent, aligned coaching clients and you want to build a spacious life-first business, my next free live masterclass is happening on September the 18th. It's called the Magnetic Offer Formula, and I'll be showing you the exact blueprint to make your coaching offer irresistible so you can market and sell with ease. Seats are limited, so click on the link in the show notes or head to leoniebusinesscoach.com and hit the banner at the top of the page to save your spot now. Having a strategic set of offers in your coaching business is one of the biggest levers you can pull when it comes to creating a business that is spacious and streamlined and simplified and works for your life. So today we're going to jump into how to approach creating your offer suite and making sure it's really magnetic and you've got the winning formula in your business. Welcome to the Life First Coaching Business Podcast, where ambitious, purpose-led coaches trade hustle and burnout for simplicity, freedom, and clients who light them up. I'm Leonie, ex-architect and business owner turned business coach. I'm also a mama, a foodie, and a travel lover, and just a little bit obsessed with online business strategy. If you're craving a business that feels spacious, joyful, and actually fun, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll be diving into the strategies, the systems, and the mindset you need to make your coaching business work for you. So let's dive in. Hello, welcome to today's episode. Please excuse my voice. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. It's like spring came along and my body decided to have one last winter bug. But let's dive into your winning offer suite today. The reason that having a really strategic offer suite is so powerful in your business is because you want to really think about how you're taking one particular ideal client on a journey through your offers. So rather than creating lots of random offers that don't tie together nicely, that are maybe targeting slightly different people or people with different budgets or people at different points in a journey, having a strategic offer suite takes that one person from A to B along a series of steps in a really streamlined way. So there's some mistakes that are often made when it comes to how to create this offer suite. And we're going to cover some of those today and how to approach this in your business and how to create your offer suite. So many coaches might jump straight into creating a freebie in their business. They've heard it's really important to build your email list. To do that, you need a freebie. So they will focus there first, thinking, I need to build my audience. That's my first priority. You might jump into creating a low ticket offer, thinking that's what you're seeing everyone doing. And that makes sense that something that is less expensive or a low ticket will be easy to sell. So let's start there. Or maybe you are just looking at creating lots of different packages because you want to make sure you've got something for everyone and that there's lots of different options. Sometimes we can be quite reactive in the early stages of our business. So someone says, oh, I'd really like this, or I really need this. And then we run off and create an offer for them based on what one person said. And all of this can create a lot of confusion in your business, overwork for you, and confusion for your audience or for your potential clients. But when you anchor everything around a signature offer and a core offer, you can avoid the most common mistakes because you can plan what leads into that core offer and what follows on from that core offer so that your offer suite becomes really clear and compelling and magnetic. And this matters because the space is noisy and clarity and simplicity are really going to help you stand out when you can become known for something specific and you can repeat that same message over and over again, and you can be consistently talking about your offers so that you become known for them. You are going to have faster success. I always like to caveat everything I say with there's no one way to build a business. It's not about you must have these particular types of offers or you must have these different price points. It's really about thinking, and I use this Venn diagram a lot when I'm talking about business, is what you need as a business owner, what your passions are, what your expertise and skills and ways of working that you love to concentrate on. So that's one circle. And then your ideal client and their needs and desires and challenges and all those things. And you really want to build everything in your business in that overlap between those two circles so that you are considering yourself and what you need as the business owner, and also overlaying it with what your ideal client wants. And so the most important thing is to really understand your ideal client and have a deep understanding and knowing of your ideal client. So if you've downloaded my free Spacious Business Blueprint, that comes with a mini training where I talk you through this. If you haven't got that already, I'll include the links in the show notes so you can grab yourself a copy of that. But what I talk about as one of the 7 steps in that blueprint is creating your offer suite. And in there, I present the idea of having 3 offers. The core offer is your signature core offer, which is a specific transformation where you can create IP around that offer. You can become known for that offer. That's what you're known for. And then having an intro offer, which is something which is a lower commitment and a lower investment for your ideal client, but gives them maybe the first step of that signature offer or something that leads into it. So things that work really well are where you're giving people some kind of clarity in terms of where to go next, or in terms of uncovering what's holding them back. So it could be an audit, it could be a review, it could be a strategy, it could be a roadmap, it could be something to help them with whatever is on their mind at that beginning point. And the key is that every single offer you create needs to have a specific transformation. And that transformation doesn't have to be a life-altering transformation, but it has to be specific, and it has to be something that your ideal clients want. So whether it's a freebie or whether it's a high-ticket one-to-one coaching offer, you need to be clear and specific around what the transformation is. So that intro offer could be about, as I said, uncovering something, getting to the bottom of something, seeing the clear way forward. So the transformation is them maybe understanding their challenges on a deeper level and understanding the way forward and understanding where to go from here. So it could be all about clarity. And then it leads really nicely into your signature offer. And then you can have an offer after your signature offer, which is your extension offer, or the offer which helps your ideal client beyond the core transformation. So it could just be ongoing coaching, which is tailored to that specific person, or it could be the next big step in that overall transformation. If it's to do with health and well-being, for instance, or weight loss, which is always a good example because it's so tangible. But say that core offer is around losing 5% of your body weight. The ongoing coaching could be about continuing that weight loss or continuing that health journey. What you're doing in creating that kind of an offer suite is you're serving the same ideal client at different levels of that overall transformation at different times along that journey. And you're increasing the lifetime value of every single customer or client so that you aren't always having to look for different people and communicate different things and be targeting people with different challenges or different budgets or different circumstances. You're always targeting the same person and you're leading them through really smoothly from one offer to another. And understanding that you might get more people in for your intro offer that go to your core offer, that go on to your extension offer. But essentially, you always have something to offer them after they complete each of those steps. And then your freebie sits at the front of that offer suite. And that is something that really strategically needs to target your ideal client where they're at when they're experiencing the problem and talking to what's on their mind at that point. Maybe before they understand what their solution is. So they're in that problem aware stage. They're looking for quick wins. They're looking for answers. And that freebie really needs to be, again, a very specific transformation, but something quick, digestible, that they can sink their teeth into straight away and walk away with. Again, it doesn't have to be a life-changing transformation, but some specific transformation. And a great way to focus on that is in how it helps them see the solution to their problem, which is your solution. So often we talk about people being in the problem-aware phase and moving to the solution-aware phase, and your freebie can really do a good job of helping people become solution-aware. So it might be talking to what they think is their solution, and then inside the freebie or inside the emails you send them with the freebie, you're actually shifting them to see what is their actual solution. So again, if we were looking at the weight loss example, maybe that ideal client believes that food tracking and calorie counting is the answer, but actually the health coach has a different methodology or way of doing things. So that freebie could really talk to how to lose weight without tracking and a guide around that. And it's something quick and digestible, but it also educates them on that coach's process and that coach's methodology. And that's your offer suite. There's no one size fits all. If you only want to have one offer, you can structure your business around that. But having this system where you've got a freebie, which leads onto an intro offer, which leads onto your core offer, and then you've got something beyond that core offer for a select few clients, is a really nice way to take your one ideal person on a really clear journey through your business. And it doesn't mean that you have to have all these right at the start of your business. It doesn't mean that you have to cover them all. But this is a really nice way to think about creating a streamlined strategic offer suite in your business. The intro offer could be something that you offer in a passive way or in a leveraged way, let's say, like a course or a workshop. I would always suggest running that live for the first go, at least, so that you can create it in real time with real people. So maybe it's a live workshop that you turn into a course, or it could be a 1 session, 2 session kind of package where, again, there's a specific transformation, which is 1-to-1. So there's different ways that you can look at how to build more time leverage into these different offers. But if you've never run any of them before, it's always great to make them live for the first go so that you can learn what the questions are, what people get stuck on, and all those things so that you can make them better. So a mistake that you might make here is thinking the freebie's the first thing, so I'll start with the freebie. But you really want to start with your core offer and understanding what that anchor in your business of your core offer is, what the communication around that offer is, what things people need to know and believe and understand to be ready for that core offer. And then you can create the freebie and the intro offer really strategically to lead in nicely to that signature offer. So always start with the signature offer and don't start with the freebie, because if it's not really well connected and it's not really aligned to your core offer, it's not going to do the right job for you in your business. And then the other mistake you want to avoid is creating offers that don't connect and thinking, oh, maybe I need a mastermind, or maybe I need a workshop, or maybe I need a group program, and just creating them randomly. Think of it as that journey. Think of how everything could lead on to the next step. And it's a natural progression, not targeting different people in different situations. And again, this is if you're wanting to create a really streamlined, spacious business. There's nothing wrong with creating offers and going with your creativity and putting things out there that you're passionate about. But it's more about wanting to create a business, which is a life first business. Then being more strategic around it makes a lot of sense, because you can spend less time in acquiring clients and more time delivering, making impact, making money when you've got a more strategic offer suite. And then another mistake you want to avoid is selling sessions and thinking of your offers as packages of sessions with resources and selling based on the features and what's included versus getting really clear on that transformation. So I talk about this a lot. I think I talked about it last week when I did the episode on 3 offer mistakes. So really make sure that you're clear on that transformation and that promise of your offer. And then your ongoing offer, your expansion offer, that can be something that you add in later on once you've had clients going through your signature offer. But you really want to think about, okay, what's next for them after they've achieved that transformation in your signature offer and they've got to that finish point of that particular offer. What's the natural next step? What's going to be on their mind? What's going to be their next challenge? And what's going to be their next goal? And that's where you can look at creating your ongoing offer or your expansion offer to really serve them in that next step in their journey towards the bigger transformation or the next step in the transformation. And that might be a higher ticket offer. It might be a lower ticket offer. I've seen it work really well where people have a program and then a membership which supports their clients ongoing afterwards. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be a more expensive, a more in-depth offer. It can work really nicely to step into something which is an ongoing support or a community or something that's not as high ticket. So you really want to be understanding your ideal client, knowing what that journey looks like for them, understanding the different milestones in that bigger transformation that they're looking for, and getting clear on what that journey could look like so that it's a natural progression, that you're hitting those milestones and you're managing to create specific transformations for each of your offers which lead on to the next one. And start with that signature offer, start with that core transformation and see that as the anchor of your business so that your offers either side of that, your freebie, your intro offer, your expansion offer, all work really nicely around that signature offer. And then that signature offer becomes the sun in your solar system. All your marketing and everything works around it. So it gives you that clarity over your messaging, over your marketing, over your content, over your sales strategy. So to recap everything we talked about today, avoid those mistakes like starting with a freebie, creating disconnected offer, selling sessions instead of a transformation, overcomplicating things, offering too many different options and not thinking of it as a strategic journey. And when you do this and instead anchor everything around your core signature offer, your suite becomes clear, it becomes a brand asset, it becomes what you're known for, it attracts your ideal clients and it helps you sell with ease. And with that in mind, I am about to host the Magnetic Offer Formula Masterclass. I'll be teaching that live and taking you through the blueprint to create your signature offer and how to make sure you're only focusing on the things that actually move the needle in your business when it comes to creating, marketing, launching, and selling that signature offer. So make sure you save your seat for that, and we'll be digging into this in much more detail. If you're there on the live, there's also a chance to get coaching from me. We'll do a Q&A session at the end. So head to the link in the show notes to save your seat for that. And I hope this has been useful. Thanks as always for being here, and I'll talk to you again soon. Before you go, don't forget to save your seat for the upcoming live training, the Magnetic Offer Formula. It's going to be 60 minutes of actionable strategies to help you package, price, and position your coaching in a way that makes it irresistible. So click the link in the show notes or head to leoniebusinesscoach.com and click the banner at the top of the page to save your seat.